So here we are at lesson 5.2. It's write a linear equation given a slope and a point. In this unit, what's going to happen is that typically you will be given the slope of a line, and here's an interesting example from the textbook, from example 1, where they gave you the point is 6 comma negative 3, and the slope of the line, or m, is equal to a negative 2. The first thing you need to do is write down the slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. Substitute the m, in this case, is a negative 2 in here. Remember that this is x and this is y. So where your x is, move it over here to where the x is from the mx plus b. In this case, it's 6 plus b, because we don't know what the y-intercept is going to be. And where y is, put a negative 3. So then you just work through the equation. In this case, negative 2 times 6 is a negative 12, plus b is equal to a negative 3. Isolate the variable b by adding 12 to both sides. And this cancels out, becomes 0, plus b is equal to negative 3 and 12 combined gives me a positive 9. So 9 is equal to b. Then you must rewrite the equation in the slope-intercept form, which goes like this. Y is equal to a negative 2x plus 9. And that is the solution to that. The second example in this chapter is asking you to create a parallel line to an existing line going through a point. So I'm going to use an example out of the textbook that is not one of the examples that you would typically have. In this case, it asks you to write a parallel line to this line here. Y is equal to a negative 1/4 x plus 2 that passes through line 3 comma negative 2. So if you remember what all parallel lines have in common, all parallel lines have the same slope. So you already know that in your formula that you're going to write down, it's y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus b, because if it's a parallel line, it will not cross the same y-intercept unless it's the same exact line. We're assuming that this is not the same exact line. Remember that this is x and this is y. Therefore, all we need to do is substitute the x here by 3, negative 1/4, parentheses, plus b, and substitute the y, which in this case is a negative 2. We'll work through this problem. So I've jumped ahead a little bit, and I've done some of the math already. A negative 2 plus a 1/3, this is not a negative 1/3, this is just a 1/3, gives us a 1 and 1/4 is my b. I need to rewrite my equation now as y is equal to a negative 1/4 x, and that should be a negative, by the way, negative 1 and 1/4. If you left it as a fraction, it would be also okay, and you could have y is equal to a negative 1/4 x minus 5/4.